Hey, it is Friday. I know if you work for someone else, you're probably saying Friday. I've said this before, most days are the same to me. I don't think of Friday as being much different than any other day, but that's because I work for myself and I have a flexible schedule. And hopefully, if that's what you want, my talks and you listening to other people and developing yourself will get you there. That's my hope, my dream, my prayer for you. But today I want to ask you something, and I want you to really think about this. What's holding you back from your dreams? If you are not living your dreams, something is holding you back. What is it? More than likely, it's fear. It's fear of maybe the unknown, fear of messing up, fear of losing, fear of being made fun of. There's so many fears that you may have as you are thinking about living your dreams. I'll tell you, I've got a couple of stories I want to tell you today. The first one is, when I launched out into this business, thoughts went through my head. What will my family think? What will my husband's family think? What will people think when they see me out here doing lives and, stating who I am and what will they? I had to get over that. I had to get past that. That's a fear issue. But it's a matter of where you where you actually think from. Do you think from your head or from your heart? Do you think with your head or your heart? Where are your thoughts coming from? If you think with your head, you're going to allow fear. We need the analytical properties of our brain. But when it comes to living our dreams, we need our hearts. We need to know that we're leading with our heart in this. So, are you thinking from your head or from your heart when it comes to living your dreams? I encourage you to start living from your heart and letting your head guide you when it comes to making those analytical decisions. But when it comes to stepping out and doing what you need to do, let's go from the heart. Okay, that's the first thing. I learned to honor your gut feelings. Okay, you talking about when you get a gut feeling about something, especially when it comes to your dreams, honor that. There's a reason you're getting that gut feeling. Look at it and don't squash it down. Don't say, oh, that's nonsense. Don't do that. That feeling's coming to you for a reason. So, and if you're a Christian and you listen, you pray, you spend time with God, it might very well be God telling you to step out. It may be more than just a gut feeling. It may be a God feeling. So I want you to pay attention to those. Okay, pay attention to those feelings when they come in. Don't squash them down. Act on it. Act on it. If it's clearly not the right time, and sometimes it's not, there may be something going on and it's clearly not the right time. Now, make sure that you're not pushing it down or putting it to the side because you're afraid. Really look at your feelings. Are you leading with your head or your heart? Look at that. Make sure that it is clearly not the right time. If you need to launch out in a business and maybe you're wanting to start a brick and mortar store. And right now, you've got small kids and it's just when they get into school, you can do it. Or maybe you're wanting to do something and someone's ill in your family and you need to wait. There are a lot of reasons why you may need to wait, but make sure it's valid. And then don't just go on, write it down. And as time goes, sit down and look at that regularly. Write out ideas with it. Take it and write down. I want to give you, for instance, um, back, and this is when I let fear take over for me years ago. I worked for a company, and you may have heard me talk about this, but there was a job I really, really wanted. And my manager, and I love her to death. She's great. She was simply going with company policy. She said, you can't apply for this job. It was, within her department, you can't apply for this job. You don't have a degree. You don't have a college degree. And so you can't apply. And what would have happened if I'd applied? They would have just, thrown the application in file 13, the trash can. They would have gotten rid of it. But I was told you can't. Now, Could I have stepped out and gone further? Yes, I could have. But there was a fear there. There was a fear of being made fun of. There was a fear of people within my department talking about me. There was a fear of going to someone else in that department and actually being laughed at by them. Like I had a contact with our VP over that department. I, had close contact with them. I could have asked, but I didn't. You can't shut me down. I let it breed fear into my heart and my head, and I still wanted to do it. Here lately, over probably the last few months, I've had an idea come to me three. Now, this all applies. This is still in the same vein. So I've had an idea come to me 3 different times. And when it came to me this last time, and I'd written it down before, I had actually talked to her about it before. But when it came to me this last time, I said, this is it. This idea for a business model. And this is something separate from what I'm doing now, but yet it's going to just work perfectly with it. But when it came to me this time, I said, okay, it's time. It's time to start developing this. And it's probably going to take me a year to develop. It's probably going to be that long. I don't know. That's what I'm projecting. Maybe it won't. But right now, I'm looking at it from what we call a 30,000 foot view. So I'm looking at it up high and I'm seeing the end result. And then what I need to do is what we call reverse engineer it. So I need to write it down and see what I need to do each month, each week, leading up to that, to be able to implement this. The really neat is it's actually going to be doing what I was told I couldn't do. I mean, I've already done that in a sense. I've already done, what I was told I couldn't do 10 years ago, I've done it, but not on the scale I'm looking at. And this is going to be a huge scale. It's going to be great. And I'm not scared of it anymore. I'm not scared to put myself out. I made the declaration the other day on a call with about 100 people. And that's okay that if it takes longer than a year, it's okay if it doesn't succeed the first time. I'm not going to stop because I'm leading with my heart now. And the reason I'm leading with my heart is because I know what I'm wanting to develop is going to help so many people out in the workforce, so many people. It's going to be a service to small companies and to their employees. And I'm excited about this. I'm really excited, but it's also going to erase finally that can't from my life, the can't that I allowed my head to get a hold of and pull that dream out of my heart. So anyway, don't allow that. Don't allow that. And something else that will help you. Okay, so I've written it down. I'm writing down and I'm working backwards now. I'm working to pull this off. And it's going to happen. I'm really excited about it. But the other thing that you need to do is to find the good in what you did in the past. So look for the good moments. I told you a moment ago that I've actually done some of this on a small scale. I did it with my employees. When I was a customer service manager, I did what I'm about to do on a small scale with them. And I loved it. I loved what I did. I actually wrote training and delivered. I can do that. I know I can do that. Don't tell me I need a college degree to do that. I don't. I don't need your approval. I don't need anyone's approval to do it. It's in my heart. God's laid it on my heart. This is what I need to do. And I'm going to run with it. I'm going to run with it. I'm going to use my experience working with this. And I'm going to use my experience and what I've developed for individuals and put it into something for businesses and for employees. And I am so excited about this. If you can't tell, I'm so excited. And today I want to encourage you to get that fear of what you're wanting to do out of your life. Remove that fear. Start thinking with your heart when it comes to your dreams instead of thinking with your head. Your head's not going to serve you when it comes to this. Now, let's say you've always had a dream to jump out of an airplane. I had a cousin that did that this past week. You've always had a dream to jump out of an airplane. But I mean, with your heart, that's your dream, and you need to do that and follow through. But please use your head with that and make sure that you have a parachute on. Now, that's not, see, I'm not talking about that kind of thing. When I'm talking about going with your heart, I'm talking about making sure that you follow your heart in what you want to do in life, making sure that you follow your heart with your dreams. They were put in your heart for a reason. Okay. They're there for a reason. When you saw someone doing something and it sparked something in you, you heard, let's say you're musically inclined, and the first time you heard someone play on a piano, the first time you heard someone sing, when you were able to really realize what it was, and it sparked that something in you. Don't let your head, if you're not doing it, you've allowed your head to take over and tell you that you're not talented enough, you're not good enough, you'll never make it. Follow with your heart. You need to read stories about people who've been told they weren't good enough. There's plenty out there. There are plenty of biographies and stories that people can. I was not told I was not good enough. I wasn't a good singer. I wasn't a good writer. I wasn't a good this. Throw that out. Lead with your heart, not your head. And those fears will go away and you'll no longer be held back from your dreams. I hope you have the best of weekends. You, more importantly, God, you again a blessed weekend, a good Friday, and I'll see y'all Monday.